Good afternoon, Yarny friends. My name is Jamie. I'm brand new to the YouTube streets. I have been crocheting since the pandemic in 2019. I think a lot of people started crocheting in 2019. I've always been interested in fiber arts and knitting and crochet. I didn't know much about crochet. My grandmother was a war bride, and she came from France during World War II, and she both crocheted and was a fantastic knitter. So I've always had fiber arts around me. To give you a little history about myself, I took a class of knitting through Michael's, probably, I don't know, in my 30s, which was probably a good 20 years ago. I just dated myself. But I really it didn't stick. I couldn't quite grasp the concept of it. It was a busy time in my life. I had a young child. So I just didn't have enough time to dedicate to it at that time. So I put my knitting needles down, and then during the pandemic, I had some extra time, so I picked up a crochet hook, and I've been crocheting ever since. In fact, this is a sweater that it's a poncho that I crocheted, and the pattern is by Susan Kennedy, Crochet Southwest. She has a fantastic book out, and I've crocheted this now. I'm going on 3 times now because I made one. This is the original one, and it's too big, but I still wear it just because it's comfortable. And then I was commissioned to make one, so I went ahead and made a second one. And now I'm making the correct size for me. So hopefully the 3rd time will be a charm. So I enjoy crocheting. It's more for relaxation. And I just wanted to start putting myself out there. Last year, I did a craft show for the first time here. I'm from Central Florida, and here we have a crafting art guild. And we do a 6-week craft show that we set up for. And that was my first one ever. It was such a learning experience. It was phenomenal. The ladies that are in the guild, there's about 12 of us, and the expertise is just across the board. So it was I was the only fiber art person. However, there's a seamstress, a quilter, a painter, all things jewelry maker, beautiful jewelry maker. So just all kinds of talent. And the ladies really took me under their wing and showed me how to start doing the craft show business. So that was a huge learning experience for me, and prepping, and it was a lot of fun. So this year, however, our craft show had to be canceled because the building that we do the craft show in was down for rehab, and it's not back up yet, so due to some permitting reasons or whatnot. So we had started making our inventory for the craft show, and or market, whichever, but this is 6 weeks, so it's a long show. And we found out after we'd start making our inventory that we're not going to be able to have our craft show this year. So that was quite the bummer. So I did a couple local markets, which were fine. They worked out good. I like to crochet I like the art of clothing. But I also enjoy the kitschy little chickens and our amigurumi. I can never say that word right. It drives me crazy. I have to think about it before I say it. So, like I said, I enjoy the art of clothing. But at markets, typically people want to see, the plushies and stuff like that. So with all the extra inventory that I had already started making, I opened my Etsy shop for the I've only been open a few weeks because I really need to try and sell some of my inventory because in Florida, there's not a lot of opportunity for markets. There's some, but not as if it was more of a northern state. I'm from the north, and I recall there was lots of fall festivals and you know, different craft shows, art shows. Here, it's just a little bit different. The breed of people is different, and the demographics of, you know, shows are different as well. So that was why I opened up my Etsy shop. And, you know, I'm on Instagram as well. And I'm hoping, I've sold a couple things off of Etsy. I'm hoping that I can drive some traffic to see my shop and be able to get some more sales. So, but one of the main things about YouTube is that's how I learned to crochet, was on the tutorials. I watched Crystal from Bag a Day Crochet. I watched Cinnamon Stitches, Jennifer Rivera, and Bella Coco. That's how I learned. And I'm still learning. I love to read patterns. I don't know that I just haven't been able to sit down and maybe construct a pattern. I'm not there yet. I've got a lot to learn. But I do enjoy watching a tutorial. I watch Yarn Joy with Terry, Setta's Place, Lisa, and I can't remember her YouTube channel's name. I'll have to think about that for a minute. And then I also like to watch Sam from Memphis Makes. She's over in the UK. I love watching her. She's hilarious too. And my other Floridian is Hannah from the Creative Cottage Crochet or Cottage Crochet. She's over in St. Pete. So I've been watching YouTube for, you know, like I said, since 2019, and I really enjoy it. It's relaxing to me. So I wanted to try my hand at getting on the YouTube streets and joining the yarn community. I'm also learning to knit. I will say that. My grandmother has since passed away. She was just shy of 100 years old. She passed away in September. And some of the most amazing conversations, even though she had severe dementia, she was always able to talk about knitting and crochet. And it was nice because one time I asked her, I said, Mimi, what would be your favorite color if you ever had one? She goes, beige. And I said, beige? She's like, yeah, because it goes with everything. It was so cute, you know, so practical. But those were good conversations, even though, you know, she couldn't remember that I was there 5 minutes ago, but she could sit and talk about knitting and crochet. So I think there is definitely a piece of her in my blood and her creativity. And so yeah, I wanted to come on and say hello to everybody and introduce myself. I don't even think I told you my name, so sorry. My name is Jamie. And like I said, I live in Central Florida. And the RedBird Stitches is my channel name. My father was a redhead as well. And when he was in high school, his nickname was RedBird. So I wanted to name my business after him. He's such a great influence on me. And of course we have red hair, so, you know, I am the favored child because I am the redhead. That's in my own mind, okay? So yeah, I appreciate being able to come on and introduce myself. And that poncho, it's actually a capelet. That is a Bag a Day Crochet capelet. that is going, it was a commission piece. It's going to one of my friends. She's in a wedding in January, and she's from Florida, so she's basically going to freeze to death because the wedding is up north. But she wanted a little something to put over her shoulders to kind of keep the chill at bay for when they're taking pictures and stuff outside. So that's going to be delivered this evening. Yeah, so I just wanted to say hello. I also got on the bandwagon with Premier Yarns during Black Friday. I have never knit or crochet socks, so I bought a kit, and this is the most beautiful soft yarn. It's called Purple People, so that's the main part of the sock color, and then this is the heel and toe. And so let's see what this, yeah, it's just, the color is 215409. You can hear my dog in the background. His name is Baxter. He's a Cocker Spaniel. He is the light of my life. He drives me crazy, but I'm a foster fail. So yes, his name is Baxter. He is, I want to say he's about 8 years old, because we really didn't know how old he was when we adopted him from the animal services, but he's so cute. I'll have him come up here in a little bit, but anyway, so that's the tinkling you hear on the floor. So that's a little bit about myself. I'm gonna let you guys go. I don't know like what my days are gonna be coming on the YouTube streets. I'd like to say I will be here once a week right now as I get used to it. I have no idea what I'm doing, so please bear with me and bear with my lack of ability. I guess I'll learn as I go, like many of you did. And yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys go, and I hope you have a great day. And I hope you're enjoying the festivities of the season that we're in. And just remember to take a deep breath and enjoy family. Thanks again. Bye-bye, everybody.